I need to be talked off of the ledge. Everyone knows by now I'm a huge Steelers fan. Like, that's my team. I'm riding with my team, all the things. I also am nitpicky, and I will pick and prod and all the things.
I guess today I'll be moonlighting as a therapist, but when I'm not in therapy mode, I'm a retired 9-year NFL veteran. Spent 4 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2014 through 2017, the Killer Bee era. And yeah, man, had a ton of fun. Obviously, man, throughout my time here, won a lot of games, man, got close to a championship, AFC championship. But as a whole, man, still love everything black and gold. And like you said, man, around the clock doing content on it, and that's shown through YouTube and everywhere else. So yeah, excited to be here with you though. So let's do this. Let's go.
Do it.
Appreciate you again taking some time to jump on the channel, and appreciate the opportunity for letting me jump on your channel as well.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we will do this again in the future, but
We're back. We are 1-0. We are 1-0. Steelers Nation. We won. We are so back. Welcome everyone in. This is I don't need therapy today. Well, I might on a couple of things, but otherwise we're back. We won. How are you feeling now that we're 2 days removed? How are you feeling now today as opposed to Sunday? Like, do you feel different? Are you like, all right, we got work to do? How are you feeling now?
What they say? Undefeated. Undefeated. For me, I'm on cloud 9. All right. I love anytime we get a chance to get a dub, obviously, because everybody feels good, man. When you're talking about from an internet standpoint, right? Most of the commentary looks good, right? Everybody's excited to view content. You walk to the, to outside, and everybody, oh man, they got their colors on a little bit more proud. You go to the children to drop off, pick them up from school. It's like, hey man, hey, you see the guys? Everybody look good. So for me, I love it. I'm feeling really good. I always say I have two mindsets. I have my player mindset, and then I have I'm just a fan. I'm a retired washed guy walking around the world. And those two vary. The player side of me, shoot, man, after the game ended, probably within 2 to 3 hours, it was kind of like, all right, enough of the good. Let's talk about what didn't go right, how we can get that fixed up for next week. But then the washed alumni fan part, I'm still on the gravy train. All right, I'll probably start turning the page to Seattle about Wednesday 12:30. All right, about Wednesday 12:30, I start turning the page. But for right now, we still big celebrating. All right, we feel great about everything. We're on cloud 9.
I appreciate it. You know what's actually interesting too is, like, imagine reaching the pinnacle of your career and somebody tells you you're washed. Like, imagine like that mindset. It's like, you know what? You're in the NFL for 9 seasons and you're washed. Like, excuse me. Also, we have breaking news, by the way. The Steelers got Jabrill Peppers. And it actually just flagged on my computer. So hey, I just want to call out here. Moats, you know this. Every time we do something or collaborate, something is happening. Okay. Like when we did our first thing, like Aaron Rodgers signs, when we do our next thing, like all of these things are happening. And so shout out to us. I'm sure that you will have a way better breakdown and overview of what he means and what he brings to our team. So we'll get to that. Everyone, don't worry. And also, we're going to talk about the game. Okay. You all know me. We're going there. All the things. Okay. So, and I can still see the chat. And so welcome chat. Welcome everybody in, as Moats likes to do on his live.
Just in case. She said, just in case you thought. I can see everything y'all got to say today. All right. We talk about you, DeAndre Jones, OGK, Jen J. We see you over there. All right. And I know bust down to the Don Hefe Quan. Don't y'all play. We know. We got eyes on you. 4 sets them today, all right? We got the glasses on for y'all, all right? Stop playing with us today, man.
I love it. And welcome everybody in, okay? The other thing I will say about the Steelers team is it's so funny how we managed to win these games. Like, it's so funny how we can be like, defense was terrible. This was bad. And we won. It's like, that is who we are. I keep telling people, I'm like, just be patient. At the end of the game, whine and complain. But while the game is over and when we win, talk trash and be excited.
Beat your chest, walk around with the big boy legs like, yeah, you know what we on. Y'all, you know how we do this. Which you was nervous. I know you don't nervous.
Did you? For no seconds did I think Boz was going to miss that field goal.
Mhm.
It was 60 yards, and I was like, oh, I know. Okay, so after Boz makes this, how much time is on the clock? I never thought for a second he was going to miss it. Did you ever think he was going to miss it?
Look, that's logo Boz, man. All right, logo big 60. Okay, big 60. In fact, pay that man. Cut the check. All right,
Right now.
Cut the check. Cut the check.
Right now.
So for
right
me,
now.
whenever you talking Boz, my level of confidence with Boz is extremely high. Outside of the only season where he was injured, he doesn't miss. Think about it. We saw the 1 year where he was hurt, he missed multiple times. Outside of that, when he is healthy, the dude doesn't miss. It doesn't matter if you're kicking from 30 yards out, 40 yards out, 50 yards out, and now we can add 60 to the equation. Crazy. But he had already hit from 59, and when he hit the 59-yarder, we all said the same thing that we said when he just hit the 60-yarder. Hey, bro, that was probably good from another 5 yards. Yeah. Hey, it wasn't like it was a double doink. It was like, yo, he still had a little leg on that. You saw the 60 right center cut? I mean, literally, the freeze frame is him on the logo, like the center of the logo. It looks crazy. But shout out to Boz, though, man. Shout out to him. And I like how quiet he's been about this contract, too.
Yeah.
He ain't been loud about it.
Nope.
That 60-yarder made it super loud, though. Everybody's like, hey, you better pay him, man. He ain't got to say no more. Pay that man. Whew.
And can I say, like, and I know he'll never get credit for this, but Cam Heyward almost gave that man a little bit of cover. Because now Cam was so loud and everyone was so mad at him, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion, but whatever. But now Boz, now we're loud for him.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of people will never give Cam Heyward credit for being loud, demanding money, and doing all those things. But what leaders do is they speak loud. And what leaders do, they are supposed to shake the table and they're supposed to create this. He's a leader. He is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. And there's probably guys in the locker room that are like, hey, bro, thank you. Like, I know you're taking a lot of heat, bro.
I appreciate you doing what you're doing. That's what you say. I publicly can't say this to you, but behind here, bro, I appreciate everything you're doing because now, because of your stance, it's created this pressure in a positive way for me to now get my deal. No, you're right. And all of that does play into it. We lose sight of that at times because, in sports, we want to make it so black and white, right? We want to make it so simple, but there is truly a ton of nuance, but also a lot of parallels to just life, to just, simple business elements of that. And that is a part of that leadership move, though. So shout out to Killer Cam, though, man. Whether he was intentionally or not, the result is what we needed to be, man. So shout out.
He took the bullets for Boz. So now we're all like, pay him right now. Don't pay him right now. We don't care. Pay him.
Hey, look, because you don't want him to hold it, right? Just the thought of him holding it, we're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
How many people started to do hey, what if Boz wasn't our kicker the past couple of years, man? What would we have done? How many games we have lost? We ain't got to worry about that. You don't got to worry about it anymore either if you just pay him. See, just take care of it. You ain't got to worry about that. That's like, hey, what if we never had TJ? We don't want to talk like that. Who wants to talk like that? What if we never had Cam? Who thinks like that? Pay him. We ain't got to worry about this stuff. Okay.
And what's also funny too is I caught myself thinking a little bit about some things that you've told me when I was watching the game because I enjoyed it. Instead of being, because usually I get anxious. Usually I'm like, oh my gosh, it's tight. Like, okay, we're not, it's like back and forth. It's like,
7 lead changes. Oh my God, what is going on?
I'm not accustomed to this. And in that moment, I thought, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this. Like, it is what it is, right? I need to trust their training. I need to trust that they get this figured out. I believe we had better talent. And so I'm like, usually talent is supposed to win out. And I'm just going to enjoy this back and forth and this everything. And shout out to you for that, because historically, I would have been like that.
Well, I appreciate you for that. I do appreciate you. It wasn't easy, though. I will say, actually, I do want to ask you this because you are the more traditional, fan part of this element, okay? Because for me, I find beauty in all victories, right? The same way I'll love a 10-3 victory and I'll be over here like, yo, that's defense. That's what you want. We've seen countless times where Steelers Nation will be in utter disgust because we only scored 10 points and won the game. Right. So flip side, we scored 34 points, but we only won by 2 points? And it was back and forth all the way to the end. Defense was letting up a lot up until they had to get the clutch stop. Kind of like when we would watch the Kenny Pickett era, right?
Yeah.
Defense ball out for 3.5 quarters. Right at the end, offense bail them out. Offense, man, you guys were great. You saved us. Defense, what's going on, man? How did it feel? Like, do we feel better this way, though, when we do get the offense to give you 34 points, and then defense, I just need to stop. Just give me a stop when I need a stop.
I
do
like
we still
it
get out
better.
The stadium?
I like it better because I work backwards. So like when the game is in, like I feel away and I'm like, okay, what is this defense? And eventually I think the defense will figure it out just because that's who we are. And so when I looked at the game and we won and I worked backwards, I was like, okay, I at least felt like we were in it. There were some times when we don't score any points. I'm like, can we score? Like we had 2 3-and-outs this game. Only 2. I don't know if anybody realizes how remarkable that is. Like
2 3-and-outs, an opening drive touchdown.
An opening. I'm glad you clipped up that clip the way you clipped it,
Come
by the
on
way,
now.
because what I said and what you clipped, good job. So I'm like, yeah, like, so I, as a fan watching that, I was like, it gave me hope that we have things to work on, things to improve on, all those things, but that we can win in a different way. And that was something I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen us win with offense. I've only seen us win with defense lately. So I was excited.
Good.
Yeah obviously my video.
Guys, I was about to say, come on now. But that's the beautiful part, though, when you're talking about a team like the Steelers right now, and obviously it's just one game, small sample size, but you want to see teams that they can win more than one style of fight. Some teams, they can only win shootouts. We talked about Cincinnati at times. It's like, yo, they can't win a low scoring game. They have to score, right? That's been their MO up until we'll see what the rest of the season looks like. But it's like they have to score 30 plus, 40 plus points, and you'll still see them lose 45-42.
Yeah.
With us, we've said, man, we've historically been able to win these close games, these tight games. But outside of the Ben Roethlisberger era, we really haven't felt confident that we could win a game when it gets upwards of 25-30 points. Now with Aaron Rodgers here, at least in this first game, our first full sample size, our first full experience of Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback, he showed that he can do that. And we showed that even this offense with the personnel that it currently has, right? Offensive line and the question marks there, wide receiver 2, the question marks there, running game and the question marks there, they still gave you a legitimate 34 points. Not defense scored a touchdown. Not we had a kickoff return or a punt return for a touchdown. We talking about 2 field goals, right? 6 points from the field goals, because I know sometimes we act as if it's a negative that Boz scores for us, but then we praise Justin Tucker for every time he would score for the Ravens. It's like, why do we act like having good players that don't play non-traditional positions is a bad thing? It's not. That's called good roster, talent acquisition. That's why you pay Boz. But it's like you watch them score, and it wasn't like we're watching them and saying, it's a lot of fluky, gimmicky. How do you replicate this? That wasn't the case.
No.
Our offense was very much methodical, very much intentional from play calling to execution on the field. That was the promising part to me, because there are plenty of things that we go critique and say we got to improve upon, and rightfully so. But if that's where we're starting at, and this was also with how much did Rodgers and them boys play in the preseason? TaNeisha,
0. Oh my gosh.
How much you said he played?
0. And I forgot Aaron Rodgers was our quarterback. That's how much let me tell you my like PTSD, and that's dramatic. But when I sat down to watch the game, right, like first 2 plays happened, I was like, oh, here we go with this crap. 3rd and 10, like whatever. And when he threw the ball, like, because it was a tight window, and I thought, oh my God, we have Aaron Rodgers. It was in that moment where I was like, right, that's what quarterbacks do.
You're like, you see how that ball just jumps off his arm, how he just, he barely is flicking, and it's like, and it's the pinpoint accuracy. When we talked about, and this was some of the frustrating things when we've talked about some of the quarterbacks previous or in between this Ben Roethlisberger time frame, and this, we're praising these guys and we're making grand statements about these dudes, and it's like, this is what we are talking about in terms of throwing guys open, in terms of reading the coverage, in terms of getting the ball out on time. This O-line, as bad as it was, right, at times, you can still see we're just simply knowing where to go with the football. understanding when to get rid of the ball, understanding how to maneuver in the pocket. It takes a lot of that pressure off of those guys.
Yes.
But if you're sitting back there holding the ball, bouncing around, which we did see, and we saw the negative impact of that, that is where that pressure starts to hit you more on. But there are a lot of things that go into making the O-line look better, making this pressure or alleviating some of the pressure that those guys face on a snap and a snap all basis when you're just simply saying, hey, it's an obvious pass situation. We're not about to do anything. Good luck.
Yeah.
That's not what it's the list of dudes in the NFL that can block the pass rushers in terms of Will McDonald and Quentin Williams, right? Specifically those dudes, Will McDonald, Quentin Williams. The list of guys that if we're simply saying, hey, it's an obvious pass situation, block those guys, we might count them on one hand. The guys that are blocking those guys on a one-on-one situation. Right. But that's the thing where I'm like, yo, it's a lot of good info. It's a lot of stuff that we got to improve, but there's a lot of positive from that offensive side, man, where they're putting up 34 points like that, man.
Yeah. And can I there's a super chat. Let me get to it. Can I point out that this is like so minor. Steelers fans will understand this. Aaron Rodgers knew where the first down marker was. How many times in the past 6 years has a guy thrown the ball and at home we're all going, it's
39. He throws it 6 yards. Like, bro, what are you doing? It's 32. He throws it 7 yards. Hey, bro, what are you doing? And not 7 yards to a guy that's running with momentum to actually take it upfield. It's like a stop route. You like, hey, bro, that's like a throw and catch and tackle play. Like, seriously. What was the thought process? What I'm trying to figure out. Just if I could understand what the intent was, I could make a lot of it make sense. All right, I just need to know what the intent was. Yeah. When
I saw Aaron Rodgers, I was like, a quarterback. This is so great. Like, this is so great. This is so great. Is there anybody you would trade for LT if BJ doesn't play any better? I have thoughts about this because I'm going to say my thoughts and then you can share yours. I'm being hard on Broderick Jones right now. Okay. He's a left tackle. He has a job to do. He needs to protect Aaron Rodgers. He needs to give him more time. All of those things are true. And what else is also true is this is his first time playing left tackle in the NFL consistently. He's a first time starter there. He also wasn't as bad as I think we want him to be. You could just tell he was the clear weakness on the offensive line. And so I think because of that, he's getting all the heat. Was he great? No. I'm not saying he was great. But I think sometimes as fans, I'm a fan speaking, we want our guys to play perfect. Did you guys watch the NFL this week? Did you guys see these other offensive lines? Like, I'm just saying, I'm just asking a question. Did you see these other guys? So I get it. I'm just not willing, like, yes, I'm going to be hard on him, but I'm not willing to say, get rid of him. I'm not there yet. Now, I would love to know what you think, but that's just how I feel.
No, man, shout out to you. And honestly, there are a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels in terms of the mindset with Broderick. To me, I think you hit it perfectly on the head. Was he the weakest link on the offensive line? Yeah. So when you're the weakest link, they're going to put so much more of the negative on you, right? We talk about the sacks that were allowed. I mean, I went back, watched every single play of Broderick. We talk about the sacks that he allowed. The one sack, I felt like Aaron Rodgers held the ball a little bit too long, steps up, boom, it happens. Mm-hmm. The other two, we're talking about, once again, Will McDonald beating him on the inside. We could make a case should he have had some guard help. I don't get into that. I personally think he overset it. But Will McDonald, who was the player that I talked to you about on Thursday? First one.
That was
it's a pass rusher, Will McDonald. And I said, man, why is that? Because it's a double-digit sack guy that he will continue to be double-digit sacks as long as he's healthy. Yeah, that's Will McDonald. I've seen him do even better tackles worse than that. Quentin Williams, right? We saw Quentin Williams get a sack on him. Hey, before we just talk about Quentin Williams and how he, put the physical Pominellis on Broderick and got the sack, we should watch every time we tried to run it in the interior part of the O-line. And Quentin Williams is the defender and what he was doing to our interior O-lineman as well. We highlight Broderick because it was a sack and it's easier to point and say, hey, man, bad player, terrible player. We don't point to this pulling guard trying to hit Quentin Williams and Quentin murdering the guard to the point that the running back has to stop. And even though Quentin Williams doesn't make the tackle, right? Oh, he didn't make the tackle. No, the guy that was getting double teamed that wouldn't even been a part of the play, he gets to make the tackle because Quentin had thrown his guard who was pulling into the back. before the back even crosses the line of scrimmage. But hey,
Right.
that doesn't get talked about because it gets lost in the shuffle. So for
Mhm.
me, I do agree. Broderick, to me, based off of everything that I've seen him do at left tackle, he played well enough. And well enough to win is what we're looking for. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. That was your first start at left tackle going against Will McDonald, a dude that I told you ahead of time. He can get after it. Now,
Yeah.
the reason why my optimism is still there is this. Did Michael Clemens or Jermaine Johnson cook Broderick Jones?
Nope.
No. So you mean to tell me the guys that were not the double-digit sack guys, the not first-team All-Pro Quentin Williams type, he handled those guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That lets me know, okay, you're doing well enough. Let's see what the next week looks like. I'm not giving them I have super long-term confidence, but to act as if what he did at right tackle carries over to left tackle, that's not what I'm doing. Whereas I think a lot of fans simply say, well, he sucked at right tackle. Hey, man, he gave us some sacks in this first game. He sucks at left tackle. And it's like, man, we could pull up every single play, which is, you know, how I talk about watching tape. I've already done this. That's why I speak with the confidence I speak of surrounding him. I could pull up the clips of him pass blocking where it looked good in the game. Nobody said anything. I could pull up the plays of him run blocking. It will look good in the game. No one says anything. We're going to pull up the same handful of him bad plays of the past. And I've already broke down what happened on that. And I think that's the joy that I have when I'm looking, because if it's a clear thing to identify in terms of, oh, that's what it was. Okay. And this is how you fix that. Great. It makes it easy. Right. The problem is where you're looking at it like, hey, man, I don't know why it was, or what was it, or was it this, or was it that? And it's like, no. I look at that and I say, Will McDonald, that's a matchup issue. Quentin Williams, that's a matchup issue. Michael Clemens, Jermaine Johnson, he handled them. Jermaine Johnson, first round draft pick. Michael Clemens plays a lot on that Jets defense and been a productive player for them the past couple of years. Nothing there. So that's the context. But I also understand from my experiences, that's what kind of allows me to have that type of understanding. And that's where we get up here. We get a chance to, you know, kind of have those conversations and back and forth with it, because it was a lot of positive that he did have. But the other flip side was this. This is also why I look at Arthur Smith, and I was so, you know, just wanted to acknowledge him because of the amount of pre-snap and post-snap movement of the quarterback launch point. And what I mean is this: how many times you see Aaron Rodgers play action pass, bootlegging, right? Why is that important? Because, man, if you have this offense line have to sit and drop back, pass protect 60 times, 50 times in a game, they are going to get beat. But they're not the only team that's like that. The majority of the NFL is going to be like that. Right. That's why you have to find ways to just move the launch point. It's the reason why pass rushers get paid $100 million, right? Or we always getting drafted earlier and earlier, because that is one of the most important positions from a defense. But that's also where some of our best, most talented freakazoid players are also. And that's why that left tackle spot is so critical. So when you're looking at this offense line, it's like, yeah, we know, man, certain things matchup wise, if you're not Trent Williams, who's blocking that? Heck, Deion Dawkins struggles with that at times. And that's a Pro Bowl all-pro type of guy. So it's like, man, what do you do? You have to be thoughtful about it.
Well, and I think as fans too, we often look at our guys and we're like, our guy wasn't good enough. And it's like, maybe their guy is also really good. Just maybe. Maybe. Like, just maybe. I'm just saying.
You know how it is. But it's because we're also so, like, we watch us way more intentionally, way more intimately. So it's like we feel and understand our mess so much more than anybody else's mess. But when you do get that chance to kind of zoom out, you look and you're like, hey, look around the league, man. Before we start, hey, I would trade him for this guy. Let's talk about that specifically. Which dude you want to trade him for? You want to trade him for a proven, right? Better. Yeah. You don't want we don't want Dan Moore. We've already said that wasn't good enough, right? We were clear on that, even though I don't have a lot of games outside of Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, where he was getting beat like that. But once again, we don't want that. We want excellence. So we're giving Broderick the chance because he does athletically profile, look like he can give you some of that. But it is still extremely hard to play that position athletically and from a technical standpoint. It is a challenge,
you're going backwards. You're going backwards and out most times. Go at home, take some time to go backwards and out. I don't care how much money you make, because he's doing the opposite of everything he's been doing in the NFL so far. So now he's going backwards and out in the opposite direction that he's been trained to do that in the last few years. Just give him some time. Just give him some time.
This is the beautiful part, though. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
I was going to say, if by week 6, 7, okay, we're not seeing the progression, I'm in with you all.
Mhm.
I will be the first one. I will drive the bus of the fan club of we have to make some changes. I'm just week 1 against that
Yeah.
pass rusher, against that team who everybody thought that game was going to be a defensive battle. Why? Because that defense is slated to be pretty
Mhm.
good. We cannot knock a guy for going against their strength and doing okay. I mean, but
We
anyways, that's
want
my opinion.
perfection. We want perfection. And
We're
I
not
get
gonna
it.
get it.
Trust me, I understand it. But at the same time, we always joke and we say, man, sports is the only time we forget that there is a human element. That, hey,
Yeah.
guys actually aren't going to be perfect every single play. And
I
sometimes the
agree.
guy that you're going against, even though he doesn't wear your color jersey, you don't think Will McDonald would not be a guy that is heavily a part of the conversation with our pass rush here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's with all due respect to Highsmith and Herbig.
Yeah.
But if that's what you truly think, and not you, TaNeisha, because I know me and you on the same page, but for the viewers, it's like if that's what you think, just go Google, go check out Will McDonald. Whether you're talking about him collegially or even what he's been doing in the league, update yourself. Quentin Williams, we swear by Cam Heyward. Go, just go type in Quentin Williams' name and just see what they say about league-wide, what they say about him, and you'll get a better understanding. So that's why I look at that matchup very differently, man.
Yeah. We have a couple of things I need to get off here. Also, I will say this is why go watch the Jets play this week and see what he does to their left tackle. I don't even know who they play. I'm just saying. Probably going to look a little similar. So first of all, we have a new member on my channel, Dante Edwards. Welcome to being a member of my channel. If you want to be a member on my channel or Moats' channel, you can look in the description below and you can become a member on either one of our channels or both of our channels. Mine are a little unfiltered. I don't know how yours look, but mine are unfiltered. So there's that. It's just me being unfiltered. If you like that, that's where you should be. And then a $20 super chat. We just signed Jabrill Peppers. So shout out to us for that. We will talk about that here in a little bit. So thank you for the $20 super chat. And then we got another $20 super chat. This is part 1 of 2. Miss TaNeisha and Moats, how respectful of you on this super chat. I got to give big props to Rodgers. I was there, and to say it was a hostile environment is an understatement. They were calling for his head literally. I was there and 2 rows back. That's about right. I love that. Okay, and then here's part 2. Part 2, they were yelling various on take his head. Oh, they were literally saying that. Okay. Wow. At every play, he played with ice water in his veins and calm focus. Looking forward to Coach A. Smith does to adjust and develop for next week.
That's dope right there, man.
That's that Jets fandom, boy. Like, yeah. Love that. So let's talk about Jabrill Peppers. A lot of people want to know your thoughts. Yeah, seriously, shout out to New Yorkers. Y'all are some of the best people. I don't care. Shout out to New Yorkers.
I love it.
Never change.
I swear,
never change. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Jabrill Peppers? How are you feeling about it? I know with my fellow Longhorn Elliott, I think they said he's out a couple of weeks with a sprain. How do you feel about that signing? What are your thoughts?
I like the move a lot. If you're going to lose a Deshaun Elliott for an extended period of time, Deshaun Elliott is a heck of a player, man. Versatile physical safety, right? So you want to find somebody that can give you some of those things, or at least can help be an addition to the personnel that you're going to use to fill in those things. I thought Chuck Clark and Juan Thornhill played well, man. I thought both of those dudes, man, the way that they moved around that back end, fitted up in the run. Difference is, though, they're not Deshaun Elliott's size, right? We know Deshaun Elliott, like, he physically looks a little bit different than those guys. Jabrill Peppers isn't going to match the Deshaun Elliott size part, but when you talk about his versatility, when you're talking about his playmaking ability and some of the opportunities that they're going to have to move him around, a la like we've seen with Jalen Ramsey, that will be a nice addition. That is what Jabrill brings. Jabrill is also a dude that's familiar with the division. He's played in the AFC North before. He's also played in the AFC multiple times when he was talking about his time in New England. So for me, Jabrill brings a lot to the table, man. We obviously know that, I mean, he was big time coming out of Michigan. That's why he was a first round draft pick. Hey, we even talked about him. We were excited about Jabrill. It was just you went to the wrong team, so we had to hey, we'll rock with you right now. But Jabrill is a versatile player, man, a true football player. And the thing that I think we will see and feel more, I guess, early on, I think will be more of him in the coverage vein, his ability to kind of sit there, be that low hole player and just read eyes, jump routes. But I also feel like, man, once he gets more comfortable in this thing, the 3 safety element, Juan Thornhill, Chuck Clark included, until Deshaun Elliott comes back, we'll also see his impact there. Because like I said, he is a versatile dude, man, that does have some of that coverage. He could play some of that slot, could play either of the safety spots. Heck, he could even do some of that return man stuff too. If you're in a jam, if you're in a pickle. Now, hopefully we don't have anything to put us in that situation, but it's just good to know that this is another guy that has that as a, as a tool in his toolbox, so to speak.
Yeah. And I like any time that you get a guy that we kind of have always looked at, and in a way, he's always kind of been around. So, listen, Adam, I always say, add talent, add talent, add talent. Figure out the rest later. Just figure it out. I don't care. That's what you get paid for. Figure it out.
The more good players you have on your team, the better your chances are. Then from there, you hope that those good players are also smart players. And then you hope that they're good, smart, and healthy. And they're good, smart, healthy, and disciplined, right? Good, smart, healthy, disciplined, and selfless. Like the more of those boxes they can check, the better that player is. And then obviously that's what separates the guys from the Cam Heywards and TJ Watts to the practice squad guys. The more boxes you check, hey, man, the higher you are in terms of production, compensation, and role, the least boxes or the lesser amount of boxes you check, that's typically where your role is more limited to just special teams. But I mean, shout out to Ben Skronik and Miles Killebrew showing that, hey, just because that might be where you are listed, that is not the only thing that you do. You can still make plays in all elements of the game, man. So shout out to the dudes though, man.
I like it. Yeah. And then my last kind of shout out before, like, okay, we need to get to some things is shout out to Jalen Ramsey. Here's the thing. Okay. I have a motto and I'm like, no matter what happens, my Pittsburgh Steelers are going to fight. Okay. Like physically, like we are going to be in a shuffle. We don't care. We will push you around. We will bully you. That is our identity. And I think it comes from our coach and we don't care.
Got to get the last leg, man. Got to get the last leg.
That is what we're going to do. And Jalen Ramsey understood the assignment. Okay. I liked the talking trash before the end of the half. I liked him basically being like, y'all haven't thrown at me all game. Y'all thrown at me all game. And now both of you are over here. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then when your number gets called, you just go make the play. And then you talk trash and then you keep it moving. Those are the moments where I'm like, I cannot quantify that, right? I cannot put it on a stat sheet. I cannot put it on anything. All I can say is I want my guys over your guys. That's all I can tell you. Like, I want my physicality over whatever you have over. I don't care what you have over there because I'm taking my guys. And shout out to Jalen Ramsey week 1 for letting it be known, like, that is what we do. We're here to bully you. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So I was like, what did you think about Jalen Ramsey? Or who was your guy this week where you were just kind of like, okay,
I mean, you hit it on the head, man. Jalen Ramsey, that was my guy. I mean, obviously we got a little history with Jalen Ramsey. I mean, you talk about him down in Jacksonville back when it first was going on, man. Him and AB would get into some of those wars, man. And then you obviously remember when he had the interviews, man, putting everybody on notice. He sucked. He a bum. He's not good. He's trash. But then came out there and was backing it up. I've been a fan of that dude for a while now, man. But he's a proven winner. He's a guy that it doesn't matter where he's at. He's like my favorite mercenary right now. And what I mean by that is he goes from team to team. He's going to get a ransom, but he is going to be an absolute dog on your defense. Very similar to what we saw with Darrell Revis, what he did when he was Jets, Tampa, New England, Super Bowl champ, right? We talk about Stephon Gilmore, very similar. It's like, these are hired guns, hired high-level players that come in and you know exactly what they bring. You look at Jalen Ramsey, heck, you brought up this game. Let me bring up the only time we saw him in the preseason Carolina Panthers. My man gets a 15-yarder for doing what? Sending a message. If you are going to run the ball, if you're going to put the ball in any vicinity where I'm allowed to be a playmaker, I'm not just here to make the play. I'm here to send a message. I'm going to slam you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to walk over you. I'm going to do all of that. It showed up in that game there. So now you get it when the games actually matter. And it's highly contested. It's back and forth. Their offense is playing well, feeling really good. Shout out to the Jets offense, right? Got to give Justin Fields and company respect. Give them, tip the cap to them. But it's like, man, now going back and forth, y'all both wolfing. And now when it's the most critical part of the game, and this is why I like close games. If that happens and it's a 20-point lead, nobody remembers, nobody cares about Jalen Ramsey talking smack at halftime or making that hit at the end of the game. But because it's a 2-point game and it's got to have it time, our perception of the defense felt drastically different when that play happened and the game ended. Now, because we're fans and because we have to, hold ourselves to such a high standard, afterwards we said, all right, defense, now that was good enough. All right, defense, all right now. But nobody was saying that when Jalen Ramsey had that hit. In fact, I think everybody did the same thing I did. Oh, yeah, let's go. That's why you pay that man. That's why you trade for that man. I looked at all the social media. I was like, man, it wasn't a whole bunch of no defensive highlights. No, I kept seeing the same Jalen Ramsey play. I kept seeing, I was like, oh, it's funny how that works. But I get it. That's true. After the fact, we have to go back to, we're fans. We're Steelers fans. And we have a standard. So no, wasn't good enough. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you got that standard. But in that moment, we knew exactly what that was. And that's the Jalen Ramsey effect.
By any means necessary.
It's contagious. Absolutely. But it's contagious, though. Dudes are going to see that not just around the league, because around the league, you see that you say, hey, man, we know who Jalen Ramsey is. He can hit, he can cover, he's versatile. Where is he low? Where is he lined up at? But what I'm talking about is the effect it's going to have on this defense when you watch this tape. Because as defenders, especially dudes that play, you watch that tape and it's like, man, you got to be real about it. You got to watch it in every single play, plus or minus. The fans will tell you played great because you have 2 sacks, and you could be over here like, bro, I was atrocious against the run. A lot of them yards, that was on me, point. Or you can have a pick and it's like, oh man, he had a pick. Oh, it was a great game. No, he was getting filleted over there, man. But it's like, because you made the play, you kind of lose sight of that. So when you're watching the tape, that's the part as the player, you got to be really, critical, hypercritical of yourself. Don't give yourself any type of excuse, because that's only going to hurt you down the stretch.
Yeah.
So there are going to be times where they're looking at it. It's like, yeah, man, we could have been way better here. Could have definitely done, a lot more, things here. But there's still certain parts where it's like, yo, they got some pieces over there. They got certain things, but it's also week 1. And that's the thing where it's like, it's that mix of optimism, but at the same time, if certain things continue, little issues do become big problems. And that's what we don't want. And that's that fine line that we're all living in right now.
And let's go ahead and let's what are you more concerned with?
Yeah.
Are you more concerned with the defense and that showing, or are you more concerned with the lack of run game?
Honestly, lack of run game. The defense part, to me, I can point to the 4 explosive runs. 2 were inside linebacker fits from 2 different linebackers. One was the interior D lineman fit, and then the other one was the outside linebacker. Those are your explosive runs. When you have that happen and there's a 20 plus, a 30 plus, a 15 plus, it's like, you look up and it's like, hey, how'd they run for that much? So it happens. Thank God it wasn't Derrick Henry, right? Because we saw what that looks like, obviously, postseason, and even what he did week 1. But that's the difference. But the reason why I'm not overly concerned about it is this. I say week 1 nonsense because for the 2 linebacker spots, the interior guys, it's literally you're losing the ball, and it happens when it gets muddied up. But one guy on one play lose the ball, and we say cardinal sin. If you lose the ball, you have to stay back, so I have to stay in your hole. He anticipates it's going to go front side. Boom. Now it hits. Then you have another one where, the guy engages with his blocker, and he's in his hole. But the difference is in a walkthrough or in a practice setting, your hole doesn't move anymore, right? Because that tackle that's next to you, he's standing still. So here, I'm on him. I'm in my gap. I've done my job. Check the box. Problem is in the game, when that tackle has actually got a little bit more movement and now there's more space and you're too much here and that ball still hits your side. Yeah, you were in the right hole, but you gave up the play because that was your guy. You got to get off that block and make that tackle. That's the other side of it. I look at that and I say, man, you're going to watch this on tape and the guy's going to say, man, I know exactly what I did. I was too heavy playing into this guard. I got to be able to either stack, lock, get my hands off of and make this tackle, or play a little bit more top down. That's the easy coaching part there. The D lineman part, same thing. It's a young D line player, first time getting a real opportunity. You're like, man, you're doing great playing against that guy. Problem is, this ain't practice, man. It happens a lot faster. You thought you had enough space to go from here, and it's not a big window. We're talking about the difference of if I stretch my arms out, my right hand to my left hand wingspan. We're not talking anything crazy here. But at that level, is that much faster. So if this is your first time out there, big fella in the D line, it gets real. Okay. And then with our outside linebackers, we typically like to get sacks. So at times we do, they will be a little later to some of the run stuff because of the ability to get that carrot that they dangle it every time Justin Fields wanted the boot. And it's like, I get it. It's week 1. I get it. We want to get sacks. I get it. Like, I do. We get paid a lot to get a sack. We get more money for sacks than we do for tackles. So I understand. I won't fault you, but this is a part of the defense that, they know that as well. So why do you think they're going to give you the play action pass? And we always say, you're never going to get a sack on the run play, bro.
Right.
Like, no matter how great your rush is, no matter how mad I got to the quarter, it's a run, bro. Like, you got to stop this run. You got to play that run. It didn't happen too much, but it happened enough. And one time is on that linebacker that's outside. The other time it makes that inside guy feel like, hey, bro, can I trust you to be there? And that's the chain reaction effect. But that's week 1. So you get back to the tape and you look at that and you say, look, simple fix, simple fix, simple fix, simple fix. Not personnel related. It wasn't talent related. It's simple detail related and doing your job related, right? That's why I'm not overly concerned about the run defense. Breece Hall and Justin Fields, I thought, also played really well. It's one run from Breece Hall's. He makes a couple dudes miss in the backfield. And you're like, bro, that's why, he's a dude that's trying to get a new contract.
For sure.
You saw with Justin Fields at times, man. It's like, when Justin Fields ready to pull that ball, you have multiple dudes by him. And it's like, it's Justin Fields for a reason. Heck, you saw when he ran up out of Patrick Queen. Queen was over there fully.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's
I
like,
felt like,
bro, that's special.
You're right. And you know what? So I feel like there were a lot of plays too where like we were there. We were like around it. And it's just, but again, I think that's that lack of preseason. I think that's that lack of, this is really fast. Yeah. Or like, because you kind of lose your mobility and where you're at. I mean, I would also say this though, a lot of times.
But I'm with you on that. But I would also say this though, preseason or not, do we feel like Justin Fields, right? When he was here, we felt like he should be able to beat anybody one-on-one in open field, right? Whether it's an inside or outside linebacker, right?
Very true.
But why do we change that mindset when he changes from wearing black and gold? It's like, man, we look at plays with Fields running. It's like, we know this is what he does. This is his bread and butter. And it's like, we won't look at that and give him credit, though. We'll look at that and almost like, why didn't you make that? And it's like, do you know what that was? I'm glad he just ran out of bounds at 7 yards. I'm glad he ain't trying to cut that back, man, because that's them type of dudes. But that's why it's not that many of them out there either. But that's the thing where I'm saying like that. I know the run numbers feel crazy, and trust me, as a whole they were. But it's like, man, it's certain parts of this where you're just like, dude, every quarterback isn't Justin Fields. And every running back isn't Fields and Breece Hall and how they were kind of doing it. And even when Fields getting to that point where it's like, okay, am I going to run? Oh, no, I'm going to throw it now. These are all leagues that impact you, man, when you're playing that defense. And that's the thing where I'm just like, let's see what that looks like versus Seattle. Because Sam Darnold isn't Justin Fields. Sam Darnold don't run like Justin Fields. So now let's see if those runs that we're hitting where dudes were kind of guessing a little bit kind of help. Because like, hey, did Fields actually pull that? Because, if he pulls that, did he actually do that? Let's see how that looks this week, because this is a more traditional style. This offense that they're about to play is way different. Jets offense is no different than Ravens offense. Ravens offense, Jets offense, you see the similarities with that, man. When you got that RPO style quarterback that can legit pull it at any point and go, it is going to have an effect on you. Okay. And that's the part where I'm like, let's see what it looks like versus the traditional offense. And that's what you got Seattle this week.
Right. And we'll talk about Seattle here in just a second, but I want to say one thing. Because we will get in the chat, they will let us have it if we do not do this or after the show. John Mateer, Oklahoma, Michigan. Did you watch him? Yeah. Do you have thoughts? Because people were so mad at us last week that we did not talk about him, even though he paid.
No. But first off, can I call my man's out though? How you was so loud about John Mateer and you was loud and wrong hollering about Oklahoma State. Plays for Oklahoma. Like, bro, so loud and so wrong. I can't believe you're not going to talk about John. Had us to the point where me and you start the show talking about, Oklahoma State. We're ready to watch Oklahoma State all because my man just kept saying John Mateer, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma. Jeez Louise. Thanks. But man, that's a little Baker Mayfield, man. I like his game though. I like his game a lot. I thought that he was really impressive, man, to me. He's definitely a dude that now has shot up on my radar even more so. I actually prefer his style a little bit more so than Lenore Sellers, because I do feel like with him, it is that true pass first, like I said, Baker Mayfield. But to me, he has a little bit more athleticism in terms of running the ball. We saw that also in that game. But the quality of opponent stood out. With Lenore Sellers, he was going to use Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, we're going to see what that is. Michigan, at least we feel like they are a little bit more legitimate offensively and defensively. And it was just cool to see him have to battle. He had an interception. And once again, I'm big on intent. What were you trying to do when the interception happened? Bro, you were trying to rip an insanely aggressive, anticipatory, high-level NFL throw. And you just missed. I ain't tripping on that. It happens.
No, I did.
I would much rather see that than like the bad read you throw into the double triple coverage. You just don't know what you're seeing. Like, no, we saw exactly what you was doing, exactly what he was looking at. And that's the thing that really made me excited about him. Now, we got to see obviously how the season progresses for him, but that's definitely somebody that I could see the Steelers being a lot more intrigued in. The problem is this: if he plays like how he played against Michigan the rest of the year, we're not going to have a chance to get that one.
He's not going to be
because he's going to be the first. He'll be the first quarterback off the board.
Yeah.
Just based off of
and that's why, and for a lot of people in the chat right now are like, who, what? So what we're doing is we are going to, every time we're live on Tuesday, we're going to talk about the quarterbacks that played competition that's worth talking about. We are going to keep our eyes on the college quarterbacks that potentially could be a Steelers quarterback. So we are going to, we watch college football. So we're going to see what's happening in college football. And if somebody that is on a team that is potentially going to enter the draft this year, we are going to bring them up. The only requirement is they have to play against competition. We're not going to talk about a quarterback that plays against a university where I don't even know where it's located.
I want to say, don't be telling me about Florida. Don't be telling me Bama. Don't be telling me Florida State. I'm like, yo, y'all play Louisiana Monroe. You guys played the Florida International State Community College. I'm cool on that, bro. I'm cool. Arch looked great this week. Arch looked great. Shout out to Texas. Y'all should have felt great this week, right? Jeez, this is one of the ones we talk about. It's like, bro, who the heck we play? But hey, you already know. But you already know. You see how they were selling it. Okay, not one, not two. Look at the kid. He could throw it. He could run. Oh man, this is why you take him. This generate. I'm like, hey, bro, y'all trying too hard right now. We knew what this was 4 weeks ago. We knew what this was 4 weeks ago. We said week 1, week 5, we'll holler back at him. All right. Week 1, week 5, we holler back at him. Y'all know what the next 3 games. All right. Y'all know what that is. Yeah.
And then, okay, you know, every week this is going to happen. I saw Florida State. Okay. They're 2-0. I'm aware. Like, I got you guys. Okay. I'm aware. Florida State played week 1. They beat Bama. Florida State played last week. They won 70-0. I am aware of what Florida State has going on. Thank you for the reminders. When Florida State plays somebody, because they're going to play Miami soon. Okay. So we trust us.
Because there are legitimate questions on Bama right now. The state of Bama football is highly under question. Exactly. They are highly scrutinized right now. We don't know what that is. They're wearing crimson, but we don't know if they're the Tide. We don't know what that is. All right. TBD on them. We'll see. Yeah, very much TBD on them right now.
So that's our college high-level overview for those of you that are asking in the chat. Like, we're
good.
Hold on,
I gotta ask you though, how'd you feel about Mateer though? Did you like?
I think
did you get a chance to check him out? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it was fine. I think I'm so hard, I feel like, on college quarterbacks. I think he was fine. I do like that he will throw the ball. And I appreciate that. Like, I don't like shy quarterbacks where it's like, just let it fly. And if something bad happens, I want you to trust your gut enough that you're good enough to like get the ball in there.
You can overcome it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I appreciate his aggressiveness. I appreciate his arrogantness because I love that in my quarterback. I need my quarterback to have some swag. I need him to be a little arrogant. I need him to be a little bit like, we'll figure it out. So I like that about him. And I will be honest, though, I don't see how good Michigan is. Because there were some moments where I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Are you guys a year away? Or is this like maybe? And by the way, I think Michigan has the best fight song in all of football ever established to mankind. So I'm kind of curious to see how they play the rest of the season to figure out how great that performance was. Because there are some things I saw on that defense where I'm like, Michigan, wake up. Guys, wake up. Like, is this who y'all are? So we'll see. But listen, it's week 2. Everybody is kind of right where they're supposed to be in a way. It's week 2. So that's how I feel. I don't have my list yet. I want my top 5 list. I don't have it yet. I'm still
okay.
TBD.
I can dig that. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I love that. And so I'm going to call it out now because we're about 15 minutes away from this, everyone. If you have any questions, start dropping them in the chat. We're Ask Us Anything within reason. We will answer all of your questions if you put them in there. If you want to super chat them and make sure that I get them, you can do that. However, I am going to do my very best to tag them as I see them so that at the end of this, we'll get to your questions. And I know a lot of people came in late and they wanted to know what we thought about our offensive line, Jabrill Peppers, and Broderick Jones. We talked about that very extensively at the beginning of this.
But we still got heat for you. We got.
But if you have questions about it, let us know. Because trust me, we always have things to say about everything. Yeah. So there's that. Before we move on to the Seattle Seahawks, just so we can spot check it and talk a little bit about what we think and what we're seeing. What is one thing you're taking away from week 1 that you hope we take into week 2?
Ooh, all right. That I hope we take into week 2. Arthur Smith being thoughtful with moving the offensive line, man. The screens, the quick passes, heck, even the toss play that I thought of you when it happened. It was thoughtful. Why? We're just trying to do different things to make that pass rush. No, check it out. This is the mindset, right? Whenever you allow a D-line to just pin their ears back and go, that is going to put our offensive line at a very, very bad spot, right? Competitive disadvantage. So you're just trying to throw misdirection, trying to throw something to make that guy pause. So think about the toss, no different than you think about them throwing that screen out there to DK Metcalf. These are pseudo runs, but they're more importantly, misdirection, off rhythm type runs. So it's going to make you as a D lineman now, when you see that play action pass, which you look at the 2 touchdown passes, right? The Ben Skronik and the Calvin Austin. We ran for how many yards? 53 yards. Watch how aggressive the linebackers are, though, when you get the run. Because, like, yo, is this real? All right, we actually getting us a real downhill run. Let me go kill something real quick because I haven't seen it all day because everything's perimeter. And it's like, man, both of them plays, LB is about the way, Skronik wide butt naked open every single time. You're like, this why you doing it, baby. This what you want to see. So that's the part where I'm just like, Arthur Smith, I need you to continue being very intentional and very direct about how you want to protect these dudes up front because we know they are going to have some time to grow. Remember what I said even a month ago? I need that first month. They're going to have growing pains.
Yeah.
Going to need the first month.
Sure.
That's a young group. You got multiple new people out there. How many times did Troy Fautanu start last year? How many games did Troy Fautanu play in last year? That's your right tackle. We don't talk about him. He also gave up some pressure, gave up a sack, right? We don't talk about that. We don't feel overly concerned because we don't have a year of bad tape of him playing that left tackle, right? So it's just the only reason why we feel very different about it. But it's like, what exactly is so drastic? You know what I mean? It's like, they're young. So it's going to take some time. Mason McCormick, Frazier, these are year 2 players, right?
True.
How does that look like? We just assume year 2, hey, breeze pass, everything is good. But we've seen specifically on defense where, hey, man, it ain't always a guarantee that year 2 is just this smooth transition. So that's the thing where it's like, man, while it's still early, how are you protecting these guys? I like the usage of Darnell Washington and Pat Frymouth. I like the addition of using Ben Skronik at times as a pseudo second tight end, the way that they use him to block the edge before releasing at times. These are all the things from a schematic standpoint that I'm saying that helps keep Rodgers upright. That helps keep Rodgers and allows him to have time while this O-line is still developing their technique, developing their rhythm, developing their continuity because they are still extremely young. And when you go and you pick and moving, that's only setting them back. So you have to find ways to build their confidence. And that's the thing I look at Arthur Smith. I say, we need to have that carrying over. Now, defensively, the thing that I want to see or I want to have carry over, the tackling from the back end. Secondary tackling at a high level is key because early on in the season, you're going to have guys that miss. You're going to have guys that are in and out of their gaps at times. You're going to have guys that miss tackling the front 7, right? In terms of D linemen, running backs, or D linemen and linebackers, just because it's your first time really hitting, right? Preseason, regardless, this is your first time doing it where it actually matters, right? And everybody understands that. And also the check matters. preseason, a lot of time, the reason why we don't want to play in terms of vets is because, man, I make six figures to go play in the game in the regular season. I'm making $1,000 tops to go play in this preseason game. And it's like, man, if you're Jalen Ramsey, does that hit the same for you? Absolutely not. Cam Heyward, absolutely not. TJ, absolutely not. So all of that matters.
That's true.
All that's out the window when it's regular season. Regular season, it's like, yo, it's going to feel different. So your secondary being able to tackle is key. And I think this is why even with Coach Tom, he said it going into the game last week. He was like, early on in the season, it's really vanilla. It's really more your guy beating the guy across from him one-on-one because schematically there isn't a ton of tape. Schematically there
Nobody
aren't.
knows what to do.
Oh man, everybody knows everything. It's like, yo, watch Justin tape, Fields and Justin Fields from what tape we watching, right? A couple preseason series, like you might get an idea, but you don't know what they're truly trying to do. And even us week 1 to week 2, we're going to have some differences where it's like, whoa, this looks way different. Like, what was this? This is a new wrinkle. That's why we talk about the fundamentals, the tackling, the make sure we're communicating, right? We didn't have blown assignments where dudes just running scot-free. We saw that with the Jets side. We didn't have that on our side. That's important. So when we're saying, all right, these are some of the things that we want to have carry over, that communication part is going to be big, but that tackling on the back end, got to tackle on the back end. Keep a lid on it, right? The tackling, when we say keep a lid on it, not just from the passing standpoint, running game, keep a lid on it, man. Hey, when that ball carrier splits through them linebackers, somebody got to get it on the ground. We don't care why, but somebody has to get it on the ground. Minka was great at that. Deshaun Elliott was great at that. Let's see what, Thornhill and company can continue to do for us.
I also realized watching the game that because I'm not used to them, well, let's be honest. The end of the season last year defense was so atrocious that I just, in my mind, I was like, it's not going to be that game 1. And then when I kind of saw that game 1, I was like, oh no, oh gosh. Like my initial reaction was like, hey, and I started saying, at some point we have to get a stop. At some point we have to get a stop. And it was the last drive of the game. So, okay. And I think that it's
get us out of there, please.
Yeah. And so listen, I'm a Steelers fan. And we always do things where we're always in every game. There's always going to be a game. And if the worst part of what happens to my team is that I have to sit at home and wait for them to make a play, I'm okay with that because that means they're capable. And that's kind of where my mindset is right now because it's like week 2 where I'm like, I think I see what we're doing. And I think I understand our intention. I just don't know yet, but we did what we needed to do to win the game, and I can't knock them for that. It's just, I think we might be starting to see a new style of Steelers football where the defense is having to adjust to an offense that can score. And they don't have to press probably as much as they thought they had to press because they have a counterpart that can kind of help a little bit. And it's like, I don't know. And again, I've never played football, but like that psyche of like, for years, our defense had to hold the team to 20 points. They had to. Whereas now it's like, okay, guys, but like, please, just please. And so like, I'm just looking for them just to, continue to get better. I think the one thing I want to see in week 2, I want a run game just to look a little bit more something. I mean, just look.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, just look like it's a run game. Like, trick me that it looks good. Like, trip over your shoelaces instead of like just not going
dress
anywhere.
It up and make it real for me. All right, just make it look nice. All right, it might not be that, but just at least dress it up. Jeez,
yeah.
please.
So, but yeah, like I want to take Aaron Rodgers into week 1 to week 2. I want to take no turnovers from that offense from week 1 to 2, and I want that special teams. I want that like. We played every phase of this game had to do something to win this game. And I hope that continues. I don't know what the Steelers team is yet, but I just hope that continues because again, I forgot we had Aaron Rodgers. Isn't that crazy? and then did you see Aaron Rodgers celebrate?
You can tell he's fired up, right?
Yeah.
He's fired up.
And everyone was like, he's too arrogant. He doesn't care. This isn't important to him. This isn't a priority. Aaron Rodgers was out there running down to the end zone. Like he was excited. And I get it. The guy, we can say whatever we want about him, but on that football field, he's a good football player. I mean, he plays quarterback like nobody else. Like he was running down the clock. I caught myself being like, hike it. And then I was like, it's Aaron Rodgers. I'll figure it out. Like, he's fine.
And then when the Jets try to sub and he catches them, I'm gonna snap the ball.
Yeah.
This is
I'm like,
Rodgers.
it's Aaron Rodgers.
So once again, right, when we talk about all the different things that go into playing quarterback and why guys like myself have such a hard time when you'll see people crown guys when they don't do half of this stuff. Just because a player has talent does not mean they're good. And just because a player has talent doesn't mean that, or just because a player, has talent and has a little bit of moxie doesn't mean they're good either. It's like, man, you got to have leadership. You got to be able to manage the game. You have to be able to handle adversity of, okay, we're down right now. Don't blink. We have to understand, all right, man, I'm being thoughtful about this clock. Granted, I would love to control the clock via running game, but hey, running game isn't hitting the way that it needs to. Don't worry. I'm still going to drain this play clock down to 2 seconds before I snap it. And I'm going to throw a quick 2-yard pass that becomes my pseudo run. These are all the things that Rodgers does. But why is it important? You know how many quarterbacks struggle to do just that because they don't want the label of game manager, right? Because fans will say, hey, he's a game manager. He sucks. Brock Purdy's a game manager. You've cursed him out. No, game management is what you need at the position. Now, if you have playmaking on top of that, now you're elite. But you need game management. That's the bare requirement. Game management. Get me in and out. Make sure we got the right call. Are you checking the protection? Right? Hey, it's pressure coming over here. We don't like this call. Give me the alert. Let's go here. Simple stuff like that is what Rodgers brings. The hope was that he had still some of that felt in the youth where he could move around and sling that rock, which we saw him do week 1. Now we will see what that looks like come week 10, right? Week 12, when it's the accumulation element of it, right? How many hits? What does his body look like as he's just naturally aging?
I agree.
But week 1, he showed you in a 1-game sample size, which quarterback would you rather have had, right? All the Justin Fields supporters from a year ago, all Justin Fields supporters this preseason or / training camp, or even when free agency happened, that were like, man, why didn't we give Justin Fields the money in that game on Sunday? Which quarterback would you have rather had? Would you have rather had Justin Fields in that style with our team? Or would you have rather had Aaron Rodgers, who you saw what he did? And that's the thing where it's like with everybody, we had our complaints about why we're waiting so long for Aaron Rodgers and why just hurry up and buy. It's like, hey, it's a reason why you wait on this man, because there aren't a lot of quarterbacks in the world that could do what he does. And even though he's not what he once was, what he's fallen to is still drastically better than a lot of others. And that's the part that as a player, you just look and you say, man, it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't need the A version of Aaron Rodgers. I don't need that. But if I get that version or in that vicinity, which what we were asking him to do in that game, for sure he can replicate. That's the part where it's like, that's why you bring that in. That's what you're looking for to be the difference maker. And we saw that week 1.
And like, this is so basic, but like open receivers, like we're given the football.
Come on, man.
Like,
yes. Can you, how many times have people complained about why we don't throw the ball over the middle of the field? And guys that watch it would say, guys are open over the middle of the field. Quarterback's not throwing over the middle of the field. I don't know why. Y'all say what you want to say, but that's what it is.
I love it. See you later, OG Kane. I see your chat that you're leaving in there. I think the other thing is too, okay, so we're both psychotic, okay, and all we do is watch football and analyze football and think about it and figure out ways that our team can beat a team and figure out what another team is doing so that we know who we're playing. So let's just give, like, what are your quick thoughts? Obviously, I will be on the show at the end of the show on Thursday, and we'll talk more about the Seattle Seahawks. But after this week, what was something that you saw from Seattle that you're just going to think about as we kind of start to think about them, as we kind of start to pivot?
Anytime you're looking at a new team, you're always saying to yourself, what are the new additions? Obviously, quarterback. That's their big new addition. We obviously know what Sam Darnold did a year ago. So I look at that and I say, okay, I instantly think of the history with Sam Darnold, but also what he most recently did. And then you try to mix that together and find the commonality. And I say, if he has time and confidence, he will light you up because he's still very athletically gifted with his just physical traits, right? His ability to throw the football, stuff like that. But I also say the other part. And we saw this also with him last year. When he is pressured, when he doesn't have that time, when he's not comfortable, he makes the same mistakes that you were seeing him make when he was seeing Ghost back with the Jets. So instantly, I'm saying to myself, we got to win up front. I know offensive line for them is good at times, but at the same time, they're more good in terms of run blocking versus pass blocking. So that's me initially before I deep dive into them. And then defensively, I need DK. This the DK game, baby. I know he's hyped. I know he's ready to go, but I know they got guys over there as well, man. We know Tariq Woolen and company. They got some good players on that back end. They also have new pieces, though, in terms of this their second year now with the coordinator that's over there. Let's see how they look in terms of the continuity with that. But early on, I'm saying to myself, DK, you know what that is, man. DK, this your revenge week, baby. They trade you. If they trade you, essentially, that's them saying they ain't want you.
They didn't want you. Yeah.
They ain't want you.
The two things I noticed just watching them play this week, obviously it's week 1, so the 2 touchdowns they gave up were against 2 tight ends, and I thought that was interesting. And they looked like we did. Like they looked like it's like their offense couldn't quite figure it out. It was like they had great things called and it just couldn't quite, it just wasn't working. Like everything they tried just wasn't quite working. They had a lot of 3 and outs. I think they had like 2 turnovers. One of them ended the game. And so again, I like that. I want you coming in to play my team, flying all the way from Seattle.
That's the longest flight. Oh my God.
Flying all the way to Pittsburgh.
That joint there, brutal.
For a 12 o'clock kick. Like I want all of that.
Yeah.
On a game where your offense never really got going. Everything kind of like, they look good on defense. They did look good on defense. Although San Francisco didn't look great on offense, but that's a different conversation. That's not my team. That's their problem.
Wait a minute. I thought only Steelers had offensive issues, man. They got $100 million quarterback and $100 million left tackle and a $100 million running back. What do you mean? And a $70 million tight end, a $40 million fullback. Hold on, what am I missing here? What? They got the receiver that Grant, he still ain't back yet. Shout out to Ayuk. I was like, they got the receiver that we wanted. All right, they got all this stuff over there. What you mean the offense struggling?
Yeah. Woof. Anyways, that Kittle went out. Anyway,
got weird.
So that's the thing I saw about Seattle. I was like, is this the game where I get to see my Darnell Washington package? Because they did it. They brought the package. They did. I know the package exists, so I know that I'm on the right track. So now it's just. So listen, if you're sitting at home, wherever you listen to this, if you're on playback, okay, here are the 2 things that bother me. So when they happen in the game, just think about me, okay? The toss, I don't like it. I know Moats excuse it away and it sounds beautifully and gorgeous coming out of his mouth and he knows a lot, but I hate it.
I'm not a fan of it though. Trust me, I wasn't a fan, but it's just like, once again, I said the intent, because we only had 53 rushing yards. If we was rushing for more, you don't got to toss. You don't got to do that type of stuff.
And
when
that
rushing game like that is, it's like,
we had 53 rushing yards, and after that one, we had 48. Because we went negative. But the second thing is whenever this weekend, when we see that package and DK is in there on one side and Darnell Washington is in there on the other side, that like I'm waiting for the moment, and we're probably throwing because it was Jonnu, right?
Yeah.
On the one that
Yep.
So like whenever you see that, just know I'm at home going, please. So shout out to this red zone offense. The Steelers got in the red zone and scored touchdowns. I just thought about that.
Yeah, multiple times. And once again, the beautiful part was you look at 2 of the touchdowns and it's the same call. It's the exact same call. And you're marrying concepts. You got 2 calls that look the exact same. So from a defensive standpoint, you can't be right. Oh, you covered this one? Great. I'm going to go and hit this route. Oh, you covered that? Okay, cool. I'm going to hit this route. But it all looks the same. That was a beautiful part. That was one of the things where I was really just like, all right, Arthur Smith, you in your bag right now, man. Like Aaron Rodgers is doing what he's supposed to do, but Arthur, you are in your bag. The way that you're using Calvin Austin with this little bit of emotion to just make it where you can't press him. You can't put hands on him. And it's a free release for a dude that runs electric speed, right? Crazy fast 419. We freeze trained. We know what he does. And it's like when you allow that to free release, you see how it can hurt you. Touchdown. Oh, all right. Y'all want to kind of overset to that? Well, now, play action pass, LB's bad eyes, Ben Skronik, wide open. It's like, you can't be right. Can't be right. And those are some of the things that it's like, you want to see, how many more of those situations where you're creating conflict for defenders. As the OC, that's what you're trying to hunt. How do I create conflict? What player can I put in conflict? And it's like, man, it's very tough to do because defensively, we're doing the same thing. We're trying to create that one-on-one. We're trying to say, hey, man, how do we make it where this guy can't be right? he's always going to be screwed. Or we know who has potential conflict, but hey, we got this for you because you're Jalen Ramsey. So we ain't worried about you. We want you in this position. That's the name of the game. It's like, man, we're always trying to find that matchup. Man, how can I get this guy, this particular dude right here? And it's like, man, as long as you could, all right, if this is the answer, well, pass rush has to be right there. Oh, all right, you got that? Okay, well, now it's personnel. Give me Jalen Ramsey. Oh, all right, we ain't got that? All right, well, bet. I got to make sure the call is right there. Let me call this blitz real quick. All right, well, let me show you this right quick. And it's like, that's the cat and mouse that happens, on a bigger scale in these games. And then we just look at the individual small pieces where it's like, oh, that player won this matchup. And that's what we focus and say, TJ Watt's great. It's like, man, the call was trash, but TJ made it right. Or they actually had this guy, Highsmith came through with the fresh, man. Shout out to Highsmith with the fresh right here, man. It's like, that's how it goes, man. But that's why I'm such a fan of it, because there's so many little pieces that matter for the big picture of it.
I love it. Shout out to you, Jamal. I appreciate you. I'm not putting your comment on the screen, but I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Okay, keep those thoughts positive. I appreciate you.
Started commenting.
Ray said Darnell anytime TD next Sunday will feed families.
Hey, no,
seriously, it's like we're all. And I also think too, and again, like Moats, please correct me. I also think that you set that up in the preseason for that reason, because basically it's a tool in the toolbox that we know we have. We know it's coming out. We know at some point we're going to see it. We don't know when, we don't know how, but whatever, but we know it. And so it's like in the back of our minds, we're like, well, we do have that one play where we have all of our bigger bodies on the field at one time and they all can catch. And so it's like, I'm just waiting for it to happen. And listen, maybe it's not supposed to happen right now, right? Maybe we don't need that yet. Maybe I get it. There's all these,
so
there's all
these
manipulations.
Think of it like this, right? Certain things you show early. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I get it. I get football is a game of manipulation. I understand it completely. Doesn't mean I'm not sitting at home going, is this the moment? No. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's in there. Okay. That's not the play. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's put that on film. Okay, that's fine. Let's put it on the film so they have to defend it. But next time it's going to be the play. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the moment because I know it's coming.
And that's the thing, though. It's like, honestly, if you saw it in the preseason, they showed it to you for a reason. Because they don't plan on coming back to it anytime soon. They want you to prepare for it, think about it, waste time on it. We ain't calling this for the next 3 weeks, baby. But hey, I want you to think about this. I want you to show. Hey, look, you see what we looking like? This is what we're going to do. This is what we're doing, guys. You see us? See what he's on the bet? This is what we're doing. And you get the game, you're like, hey, bro, this week one. That was, as a player, we would get frustrated early on in the season. That's what you keep hearing me say, first month. Yeah. Because it's a lot of the smoke and mirrors, the gamesmanship. It's the preseason. It's going to look like one thing. You get to the regular season, you're like, well, first off, these players aren't even the same players. So schematically, was that what you were trying to do, or is that what you were just doing because of who you had out there? And then obviously every coach doesn't want, the same way we talk about you should have your special plays, right? Hey, these are the plays that we are go-to special golden calls. If they drop that in the preseason, it's like how special and how golden it, like it loses the effect, loses the allure of it. So that's the part where I'm just like, it's gonna happen. Everything that you want, you go see it. You go for sure see it. But if they showed it in the preseason and they turn around and show week what all were the Jets preparing for? They were preparing for that. Yeah. Think about it, because that's the only thing that they saw in the preseason that had success.
And it was certain
things that come on now. It's certain things that if you saw it in the preseason, this is all you know to account for. And it's like, man, you can't base it on that, because that's a part of what they're trying to do in the preseason. It's like, they want to throw certain things out to make you just prepare to just prepare. It's like, we're never using that. But hey, if you looking at that and that is the reason why I can hit you on this play action pass, great.
Yeah,
right. Because you worried about that. Keep looking. Because eventually, them linebackers aren't gonna jump up on this play action pass that we read twice in this game, right? They ain't gonna fall for that. They gonna be like, hey, you hit us on this twice now last week. So this week is what's the variation? What's the adjustment? And that's what we talk about as the season goes on, more information. What's the adjustment? What can I do now to mitigate this, to offset that, and now get you where you're not comfortable at and make you live here the most? That's the name. But more information and more information. Yeah, heck yeah.
Awesome. I just wanted to spot this comment because I think we all kind of felt the same way.
Shout out to Leah. What up, Leah? 254 Killeen, Texas in the building. Yeah.
I love it. Not me get emotional hearing Aaron making changes at the line. This man is in full control. Here we go. There were definitely moments where you had to pinch yourself and be like, it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, yes, we know him.
Ron.
Yeah, like we know him. Yeah, and there was things that he was doing. Like I said, there were moments where I was like, girl, if you don't shut up and let him do his job, like, he's fine.
This is why Rodgers is Rodgers
right now, not him. He's got this. So
this is why Rodgers is Rodgers. He's different.
He is different. Let me know. Okay, so I'm going to pause a little bit. So a couple of things. This is our question section where you can
and y'all hit that like button and subscribe too while we switching. All right, while we transition. So
here's all your directions. Okay, first and foremost, if you have a question, drop your question in the chat. First and foremost, secondly, if you want to go to both of our channels, I am streaming on Twitter also. So if you're on Twitter, shout out to you. If you want to go to both of our channels, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to both of us. That would be great. Somebody mentioned also, yes, Moats has a membership. I am going to try to fancily drop this, and I think it's going to enter on his chat and my chat. So if you want to join his membership, I just dropped it for
high level the way you be doing all your man. I'm gonna be like you when I grow up.
So you can join.
I'm going to the TaNeisha School of Technology. All right, I'll be feeling computer illiterate at times. I'm just over here like, yo, how you just don't worry about it, guys. I got this. I'm just gonna find him. Lace right.
I got you.
I was looking at you the whole time on camera. So when did you do this? When did you find this out? How'd you do this? You would have known if I was looking for it. You'd have been over here like, yo, why is it Mo's looking up? He's sweating all of a sudden. Oh, he's working on the computer. It's technology related.
It's so funny. So that is his link. So if you want to join, and I will drop mine. So everybody should be able to see both of our membership links on both of our channels. And we do drop special membership only videos. Mine, are yours unfiltered?
So I have a combo. I do unfiltered, and then I do some of my film reviews. I do extra plays for the members. Shout out to my members out there. Y'all know man.
Okay,
y'all got some new heat loaded up too. I knew heat loaded up. Yeah.
So that's what he brings. Mine are just me. Okay, I'm a mess. You will see all me being a mess, and I will just talk about whatever I'm talking about, and you will get what you get. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of stuff. So anyways, dropped both of those for all of you so that you can see them. And I just flagged some comments. I officially have a marriage proposal in the.
Oh. Well, hey, congratulations then. All right, congratulations. I'm gonna send a gift. All right, I'm for sure gonna send a gift. All right.
So that's that. So somebody said, Ray said earlier, if Arthur Smith keeps calling games like this on offense, we'll be okay moving forward. I agree. Yeah, I thought he did a great job this week. I wasn't frustrated at all.
It's only 1 week though. It's only 1 week.
Yeah,
everything's week to week. You gotta keep it going week to week. Everything week to week.
Next question: why is Gainwell getting nearly the same playing time as Warren? I don't know.
So for those that didn't see the snap count, the amount Kenneth Gainwell actually played, I want to say 2 snaps more in the game than Jalen Warren, and Caleb Johnson only played 2 snaps on offense. So that's, what a lot of people had looked to. And I did have some of those questions as well. I thought there was a combination of them not trusting Caleb Johnson to the extent that I thought they did. Okay. And due to that, I thought that we saw Kenneth Gainwell get some more of the runs that they were trying to take off of Jalen Warren. That was where we were getting Kenneth. And I was a little bit surprised at how much we ran Kenneth Gainwell. I thought some of those runs would actually be Caleb Johnson because of the size that he has. But I do question once he put the ball on the ground on kickoff return. Granted, we recovered it, but Coach Tomlin, he's not playing that. And specifically with young players, his tolerance and his leash for young players that have to handle the ball, when you put it on the ground, he's having a conniption. You know what I mean? Like, that's not him, man. So part of me thinks that played a role in it, along with where is Caleb Johnson from a blocking standpoint. Those things mess with who you play and how frequently you play those guys. So I do feel like Kenneth Gainwell was already going to have his role, but I think it got expanded due to the lack of Caleb Johnson participation. I think if that goes back up the way that it should have been, what I was anticipating, anywhere between 7-ish, 10 reps, It's like that will take some of Gainwell down. And even though Warren stays where he's at, the snap disparity is going to look a lot more favorable to Jalen Warren versus it being, how's Kenneth Gainwell got more snaps than Jalen Warren, but Johnson only got 2 snaps here. Like, that's the part to me that I think I want to see be changed. And I think it will change next week. But I think a lot of that is going to be based on their trust in Caleb Johnson. Yeah. The sooner he gets up to speed and makes the organization in terms of Coach Tomlin, Arthur Smith trust him in terms of blocking, I think he'll be out there a lot more. And the more he's out there, that'll obviously give him opportunities to run that football, which we think will then help the yards total in that space too. But that was definitely just for me. That was kind of what I walked away kind of feeling as I look back on it and stuff. It was like, I think this is more of the byproduct of that versus it being, man, they just really think that Kenneth Gainwell was the better back over Jalen Warren. I don't think that's the case. If that was, I don't think they paid Jalen Warren what they paid him prior to the season starting either. That's
a good point. What are your thoughts on the Ramsey penalty? I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, and I thought they should have picked up the flag.
Yeah, it's a bind for the ref because he's obviously calling it right there in the moment, right? And he's taught that, hey, when runs are going to the perimeter, regardless of the personnel, when you see a DB go low, 9 times out of 10, they're cutting that guy's legs and you want to protect him, regardless of the competitive disadvantage or the health and safety risk that you put that DB in. I thought that was what the referee just saw and just initially threw it. When you go back and look, though, it's very clear. Ramsey's trying to make a tackle. If I'm coaching, I'm coaching it to do it like Ramsey did, because if you stay high, you're going to get blocked and you're going to miss the tackle. Or if you stay high, the guy's going to run by you and then you're going to get ran over by the ball carrier. So either way, you're screwed. So to me, I look at that and I say that's a teaching point for the ref. I think the ref is going to go back and watch it and say, okay, that was a little bit different. And I also would anticipate Jalen Ramsey not being fined for that either because of them going back and watching it and understanding that. But that is something where it was just like 9 times out of 10, that player typically isn't going to make the tackle. He's trying to actually cut that guy's leg out. And that's why he just threw the flag, because it's like, hey, whenever you see a long pass down the grass and 2 defender and a receiver is head to hand, everybody does what? Oh, it's got to be a flag, right? Just because you're so conditioned that, oh, he does it, it's got to be a flag. But it was like, no, actually, there wasn't a flag on that one. The same way sometimes when you're looking at DB, it's like, hey, the DB actually was in good position. It wasn't a flag on that one. I think it was more of that. But it's also week 1 for them officials too. So
yeah, that's true.
I give them a little grace.
Good for you. I give them none. This is a shout out to you. Those film reviews are heat, Moats. So keep those going. They appreciate
shout
those.
Out to the homie, man. X Concepts. You know, it's nothing but love. You know, I got something cooking for you, baby. All right, drop in soon.
I love it. Do you think we'll ever see Yaya Black lined up next to Cam Heyward?
Shout out to Big Yaya, man. Yeah.
Why? I always call him Yaya. I don't know why.
Look, you know how the other way. It was multiple.
I'm terrible with names. Yeah. Like if you tell me he's number 91, I will honestly probably never remember his name at this point. Like, so, and once so there were some guys playing this weekend. I was like, who is that? Who is that? I didn't know who they were, but that's okay. I think if we do see him playing next to Cam Heyward, we have struck in gold. That's my thoughts. But anyways, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Yaya, man, young player, man, had his first opportunity. He did some good things, though. He wasn't perfect, and that's a part of the youth with him. It's like, yeah, man, you got to make sure that you're more consistent with, remaining in your gap as it moves, okay? That's going to be important for young players. Collegiately, the gaps don't move as fast, and there's not as much space in between when those gaps move. And that's why college D linemen, man, they make a way more plays traditionally, collegially, than they do when they get to the next level. It's like, man, it's just a lot more room, a lot more ground to cover. But as a whole, man, I think that he is developing the right way. And there will be a time where you can see him out there with Cam. I don't think it has to take extremely long for that to happen, because they're going to play him more in that nose spot. I think that's going to come, though, when he is more consistently doing those things, though, and that floor is elevated to where you're with that starting group, right? Because right now it's all right, man. You might rotate, you might get a play with Cam, but not enough that we're going to sit here and be like, hey, man, they playing together now. Yeah. It's not that. We talking about legit, like, yo, they run a maze right here. That will come down the line once Yaya shows a lot more consistency there. But I thought game 1, man, it's a play where you watch him manhandle that Jets. It was Jets center, I want to say. It's like, hey, bro, that's a big, grown, strong man right there. He's literally like, come here, get up off me, make the play. And I'm like, they'll pay you $100 million. You do that consistently now. Like, You can get paid a lot of money if you do that. I just tell Dan McCullers.
That's your skill set. Like,
look, big Dan McCullers was my teammate here for 4 years. He was also big mountain of a man like Yaya Black, and we would tell him consistently, hey, it was one time in practice. We saw him do that to Pouncey, and I swear by Pouncey. He had a play where it was just like, hey, bro, that's a all pro that you just ragdolled, act like wasn't there. If you do that every time, you'll get paid $100 million. Problem is, dudes don't do it every time. Yeah, and that's the name of the game. And that's why Cam is so special. And even Quentin Williams, who I talked about earlier, is so special because it's like to be able to not just know what to do and then physically be in shape to do it, but then also be good enough to make another grown man who has the exact same mindset as you. You're going to make him do something that he doesn't want to do. And you can do it every single play. That is the hardest thing to do in the trenches. And that's why we say it's less about the smarts and more about you got to be a real life bad boy to be in that trenches and dominating them dudes, man. Because it's that's where all the big boy goons are at, man. The real life ones, you're like, hey, bro, we like to hit you from the side. You know what I mean? We like to hit you on the perimeter. Give me a little space. That detail, that you don't want that guard, boy. You want just, do I look like I want to go head up the idiot at? No, heck no, man. But them big dudes, they win all that. And that's the part where you're just like, you see what YA's capable of, man? But it was a good start for him. Good first game, but let's see how week 2 looks. Because young players, I'm always like skittish on them because I once was a young player, but then also watching young players, they're inconsistent. They're going to have some weeks where they look great, where they study great, where they feel great, where, you know, everything hit perfectly. And wow, they might have a couple of games where it's like perfect. And then they're going to have some moments where it's like, bro, what are you doing? Did you hit the Ricky wall? Is it too much on you? Are you studying too much? Is it the personal life? Are you homesick? Do you miss your mommy, your daddy? What's up, man, bro? Like, do you need to go to class? You want algebra? Do you want calculus? You need right now, bro? Like, what can we do to help you? That's young players. And that's the thing where it's just like when they give you anything positive, you love it, you take that, you accept it, and then you just pray that the negative don't last too long. But that's young players, though.
Please and thank you. Just wanted to say Jamal is willing to accept all your gifts. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Shout out to Jamal.
Why isn't Boswell a 90 overall yet on Madden?
Man, they hating on my dog. Oh my God, they hating on my dog. My man hit 56 straight cash. Did he go over there for the 60 plus? Room to spare. Come on, man. Dude look fire. Dude looks phenomenal. And I like the fact that he's swaggy while he's out there. He ain't out there with no stank face mask, no stank swag. No. My man got the black sleeves, kind of looking fire, got the clean face mask, cleats. Like, yo, you look good. You look like you're supposed to be a 99. So I'm with you. All right. I will say this, though. I think the more big games the Steelers have this year where he's able to have those kicks, the higher the rating will be because more eyes and it matters more. It's more clutch. This was huge, though. But that was the difference to me with Justin Tucker. Because the Ravens have been winning so much while Tucker was there and with Lamar, you constantly saw them in prime time. This is a game to, man, they're trying to be number one in the NFL right here. Oh, they got the best record. Oh, man, they're the favorite. It's like, you're constantly talked about. That's why they're offensive linemen. Creed Humphrey is the best. Oh man, have you seen all the Tyler Lindemann is the best? Yeah, it's because they win all the time. You can put Frazier over there and they'd be saying the exact same about Frazier. Frazier would be the number 1 rated guy. That's just how it goes. Deion Dawkins. Deion Dawkins is rated so high as a left tackle because he blocks for Josh Allen. But realistically, it's like, man, if you watch that and he had to block also, it's like, yo, would that be rated as high? Those are legitimate questions. That is how it goes. And that's with all due respect to all of those guys that I mentioned. But when you're a part of a winning team and you're always in the spotlight, you get remembered. You get talked about at a different level. And that's the thing that when I look at that, I'm like, yeah, it happened. It happened, but we got to keep winning. The more we win, we're going to have more big games, more opportunities for game-winning scenarios or pivotal go-ahead type scenarios to make those plays. And when you do that, you get remembered. You get talked about. It don't hit the same if it's a blowout. Don't hit the same. No. But these type of games, you're going to remember it.
That I agree with you. And it's Chris Boswell. Like I don't know. So shout out to him. Shout out to Boz. I jokingly said in one live, like, he might be our best player. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. Wasn't a terrible take. I'm just saying. And then we're going to end with this one because a lot of people are asking and curious about Peppers. How long do we think it's going to take him to get up to speed? Do we think he's going to be able to make an immediate impact? I mean, there's so many different questions in here about Peppers. People just kind of want to know your thoughts on
me, man.
Do we think like this week should have expectations, or when should we start being hard on him officially as a part of the Steelers team? That's basically the question they want to know.
No, so if you want, when to truly be hard, I mean, I always say, man, if you get paid to play, the responsibility is to go out there and make plays, right? We take on the nuance, we take on some of the minutia behind the scenes, but it's like, hey, when you put that jersey on, you going out there, if they're putting you out there, they're putting you out there for a reason. We're saying that you are one of the best 53 players to represent the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what we're saying when we put you in the jersey on
game. We can be hard on him right now.
We're not saying, no, I'm just saying like that's why I said, like, for fans, man, I always say, man, y'all don't have to hold, your level of standard and your level of decorum doesn't have to match mine. Mine is more of, it comes from the professional element of it. It's like, man, when you've done something for so long, you just have a different level of respect, a different level of like appreciation for what it takes and all of those like details. So me personally, I know I'm not tripping on them for at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks, because it's like, man, you're at a position where they're going to be utilizing you in multiple ways. So you're already at a competitive disadvantage, because I'm not saying come here and just learn free safety. If you just told Jabrill Peppers to come here and just learn one position, he could do that within the week.
Yeah.
But that's not where he thrives, at just one position. He thrives at versatility, using him in multiple spots. So now the question is, how quickly does he understand the big concepts of what we're trying to get done? Because to move a player around, he has to have intimate understanding of the puzzle and all the different pieces. I can't play inside at slot if I don't know what my outside corner and what my inside linebacker and what the safety behind me is doing. Now I could play safety and just sit there by myself every single time, because I know outside corner, he's either going to be man zone. All right, cool. He's there. Inside linebacker, he's going to be hooker. He's going to be man. All right, cool. Pretty much good right there. And I got time to figure out everything else. But now, okay, you're at slot corner on one spot. You're at free safety one spot, where now you're middle of the field. Next up, all right, we got you a little bit in the box. Now you're in the Deshaun Elliott role. And it's like, yo, those are 3 very different assignments from just a run standpoint. Are you hammering his back to help, or are you the help? Are you the free defender that we're funneling the ball to? Because at slot corner, you're typically the guy that's hammering it back. When you're the backside safety, you're the free defender. You're the guy that we're sending everything to make the tackle. Those are 2 very different roles. Free safety, now you're in the middle of the field. You keeping the lid on everything, right? Play pass first.
Yeah.
How quickly do you get acclimated to all of that, though? That's the question. And that's the part where I say, as just understanding the nuance to it, 4 to 5 weeks realistically, where he can start playing fast. You should see him out there, though, this weekend. I anticipate seeing him out there, whether it's a 10 to 12 play package where we're saying, hey, every dime situation where we got to put out that 4th DB, you're going out there, Jabrill. Every time where it's base and we feel like we don't know if they want to truly run the ball because they're bringing out 1 running back but 2 tight ends, but that's a little bit of an athletic guy, Jabrill, we're using you in the 3 safety package. Yeah. That, I feel like we should see that this weekend. I don't think that has to take a long time to see that. And I think we'll see some of the playmaking in terms of the run fit stuff. The sexy interception stuff, to me, if it happens in these first 4 weeks, I deem that more fluky than constant, because you don't intimately know what you're doing to even be, I'm besides this, I'm coming back to, it's like, bro, come on, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We all remember Minkah Fitzpatrick. Was it the first game versus the San Francisco 49ers? It was like, hey, bro, he did what? All this, and it's like, did he do that? Oh my God. Wow.
That was kind of how the chain, that was how the chain started, because of Minkah, the first game. He had anyways, the ball was thrown right to him, I think. Anyways.
That's the part where it's like, that to me is more of like, yo, right place, right time, and Minkah, man, the legend of Minkah started right there, But it was like
right place, right time.
How realistic is that type of start? That's not realistic to me, man.
I love it. Well, we will end this show. I want to end with one thing, because people want to know what you think about the Bills and the Ravens game. And before you give your thoughts, before I hit the end button, I want to say again, if you're watching this, if you're watching us, communicate. If you're on the playback, wherever you're at, make sure you like both of our channels. Make sure you subscribe to both of our channels. We will be here every Tuesday. Next week, pay attention to what time the live is, because next week it will be Tuesday. We just aren't sure yet what time, but it will be Tuesday. Next week we will be here. Yeah. Promise you that. Just working out the time. But we'll be here every Tuesday. I will also be joining the very end of the Thursday show for my
Let's
preview or for our preview
go.
for the Seattle Seahawks. So there's that. So chat, you were welcome that I asked him the question about the Bills and the Ravens, and whatever you say when you end this, we're going to end it because my thoughts are this. I cheer for Lamar Jackson hard, and I love Derrick Henry. I cheer for those two guys. I do not cheer for the Baltimore Ravens, and I always want those guys. I always want those two guys to win until they play the Steelers. However, I'm tired of this coaching staff for the Ravens, and I hope they stay there for as long as possible because I don't think they help this team. That is my opinion. You're on, and as soon as you're done, I will hit end.
Shout out to the Ravens, man. Shout out to Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, man. They're tough. Oh, they're so tough. I would just say, don't be so hard on Harbaugh. I know people look and they say Ravens just want to choke in the big games, but they did go against the actual league MVP. Not the fake one, not the, hey, crowd, let's just chant it because this is what it seems cool to do. No, the actual league MVP. The year when Lamar won it 2 years ago, they said stats didn't matter because Josh Allen's stats blew Lamar's out the water. They said team success mattered. Last year, Josh gave you team success. Then they said stats mattered. So we get back to the opener. Which one are we going with this time? Stats, team success, gotta have it, clutch moments, handle adversity. What are we looking for? I look and I say that Bills team is just like that, specifically Josh Allen and James Cook. They like that. But that's why Josh is who he is. Remember who the highest paid player in the actual NFL is. Well, I know we got enamored with TJ and Michael Parsons, but the actual highest paid, you saw him. He know what he doing. And I think to me, that's more of that. It just sucks that for the Ravens that they fall short every time when you're facing the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, and it seems that happens frequently in those games. But it's a small list of teams that are actually putting the Ravens in those even positions. It's a small amount of teams that could even survive the Ravens having that type of offensive night. We talk about, man, what Derrick Henry had. It looked like playoff Derrick Henry. The only difference was he had a fumble. That was different, right?
Yeah.
You talk about Lamar was willing and dealing out that thing. But the difference is, it's like, man, there's another quarterback on this earth, not many of them, but he don't look up to Lamar. A lot of these quarterbacks, they look up to Lamar. They're like, bro, we can't touch that. We're scared of that. You're God's here. Josh looks at that. And he's like, I hear all of y'all talking about why Lamar is this, why Lamar is that. But there are a lot of people that swear by Josh over Lamar. Okay? It's a lot of them. Okay? And I'm just like, I've been one of them people. So maybe it's my 716. Maybe it's the fact I was drafted up there, but I'm a Josh Allen guy. I love what Lamar has developed into. I love watching him play. It's so exciting to me, but I'm Josh. I prefer Josh Allen. I'm not about to change that today. I ain't changed it a year ago. I ain't changed it 2 years ago when they gave him the MVP over him. It's like, nah, we hollering the same thing. That stays consistent because of his ability to throw and run. And if the biggest knock was the turnovers, it's like, well, what they going to say now?
Yeah.
And you see it. So don't be so hard on the Ravens. Don't be so hard on Harbaugh. Don't be so hard on Lamar. Shout out to them Ravens, man. They look great. I like the all right. Yeah, the flock. Yeah.
There you go, everyone. We will see you. Moats will see you before I see you. But at the end of the day, we appreciate you being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all of those things. And don't forget, every week, I am going to ask the chat for more questions. So come prepared for your questions because we want to hear your questions and we want you to be involved in our live stream. So thank you for being here.
Shout out to TaNeisha, man. The way she had this day today, Lord, man, I'm going to be like you when I grow up. I'm trying to tell you, I have room to grow. I clearly have a lot more room to grow. Your skills. I like it. Let's go.
I appreciate you. We'll see you all soon. We'll see you all very soon, actually.
Very soon.
Bye.